Hey amigos, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Ready to start this week. We're going to be doing ourselves the delicious duck spring rolls. So I'm actually going to make the pancakes itself, or very thin amount pancakes, and then obviously wrap them in the duck, and then we're going to deep fry them. Or deep fry, shallow fry, sorry. And we're also going to do some duck sauce to go with it inside and the outside as well, for a nice little dipping sauce with a bit of orange, oyster sauce, plum sauce, all those beautiful flavors. And I'm going to do like a nice little Asian salad as well, more of like an Asian cucumber salad, so lots of flavors going on there to finish it off. So a nice straightforward easy dish. Okay, so let's drop them in. Beautiful. So I'm going to put the oil in there as well, just to kind of just help it heat up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is pretty much pick it down. I'm just going to wipe this out. Don't really kind of wipe this out down in your drain. Whatever you do, it's one of the most important things is never ever put oil or grease down your drain. I usually just kind of wipe it out with a kitchen roll. Kind of important to make sure that doesn't happen. Just flick across. So they're right there. They're going to heat up very nicely. They're already cooked. They're good to go. But because they're cold, I want to heat them up so they're easier to pick and flake, if that makes sense. So we're just going to let them heat up. We can pick them later on, it's not a problem. We don't want them so hot to a point where I'm going to like burn it myself. So once they come up to the heat, I'll take them off, let them cool down a little bit, and then we're going to pick them. And then we're going to start making an assortment of flavors to go in there. Some plum sauce, soy sauce, some garlic. I think I've got some ginger as well to use. We can use that as well. Bit of soy. I think I already said that one, didn't I? And a touch of cilantro in there as well. We're also going to have some cucumber. I got some spring onions to put in there as well, and I got a bit of carrots. I wanted a bit of celery, but I didn't buy any celery this week, so but that's fine. But if you want some kind of celery in there, then by all means you can do. So I'm just going to trim this up. Just get rid of those old layers. I don't really need a lot of cabbage, so that's fine. What I'm going to do is take the layers off if you find it easier to slice. So if you want to slice it like that, that's fine. And what we want to do is just slice this down nice and fine, using your middle finger for a little bit of guidance. I mean, you don't have to go as fast as me as well if you're not that confident with your knives. Just take your time. There's no rush. You know, it's not going to take you that long to make. So, and what I'm going to do as well, just cut this right down so you've got nice little thin pieces to go in to the spring roll itself. So I feel like one carrot should be plenty. I'm going to do this on my Japanese mandolin, so top and tail, and then we're going to peel it down very nicely. Right, so be very careful. I know a lot of people don't like me using this, but you know, I'm sorry. I apologize. It can be a bit of a struggle with the carrots, so whenever you're using the Japanese mandolin, if you're not using the safety guide, my best suggestion to you, keep your hand as flat as possible. You start doing this, you're going to cut the tips off, so flatter the better, because you're less likely to cut yourself. Right, so slice this down. So just very carefully, just following it round, doing some nice little thin slices, and then we're going to cut them up about yay thin with the knife. So we're slicing this down very nicely. So as you can see, like the center as well, when you're slicing it, it's had a bit of the center there. It just kind of breaks up as well. So you just kind of want to go for the edges rather than the center. It's just simmering. It's not doing much. So this is nice and soft now. I don't want to keep cooking this. That is fine. So what I'm going to do is turn this off. I'm going to let it cool down on my little heat pad on here. Just going to let it cool down now. That's done. It's ready. So that's all I wanted to do, was pretty much bring it up to heat so the meat can soften. We're going to let that cool down, and then I'm going to pick it. Perfect. So what we're going to do, take the bottoms off, trim the tops. And then what we want to do, we want to make sure we wash this, because inside the spring onions you're going to have lots of like kind of dirt. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you do, and also like kind of bacteria. So I always make sure it's just to cut down with the knife in the middle of the leaves, and then what we're going to do is just run it under water so it can wash out all that dirt that's in there. So we're going to par these up, so we want them about yay big. So if you want to put like a point for direction. So cut a piece and then just kind of line it up, and then you can cut it again, so you can have them all the same size if you want to. You know, you don't have to. Let's just basically cut these down into a nice little julienne. Perfect. So we're just going to kind of going through them, seeing what we got. Can be a little bit fiddly, but that's okay. Just take your time with it. Don't need to rush. You should be absolutely grand with it. So there we go. There's our filling for the duck spring rolls. We're only going to use a little bit of each. So right, let's cut this in half. So we'll keep this half. I'm going to make a quarter of this because I don't want a lot of onion for the filling. Just want a tiny bit, and we're going to cook it down as well. So it's taking off the old skin, and we're going to dice this up very nicely. Right, so we're going to slice this down very nicely. So the more layers you get into the onion, the more of a finer dice you're going to get it. So I'm not cutting all the way through, I'm just keeping the root intact. So same again, but we're going to do it vertically. I don't really want to kind of use it because I've got enough onion here, so I'm going to dice it up anyway. Let's just chuck it in because it'll be fine. So what we're going to do is slice this down as well. What we're going to do, just give that a nice little dice. Watch your fingers. And there you go. You don't have to go over your onion time and time again to get a nice little fine dice. You've done it in one swoop. So there we go. Fresh ginger. I'm not going to use the entirety of this. This is quite a bit, so I'd say half of this will be absolutely fine. So this is a little bit old ginger, but that's fine. It's still good. So I'm also going to top and tail these. You could crush them down, but because I'm going to put them through my microplane, I kind of want to keep it together so to get the skins off. But yes, you could crush them. If you're going to put it through like a garlic crusher or something, that's fine. Right, so let's grate this down. Watch your fingers. And also you'll notice as well, we're grating the ginger down, you'll get that fibrous left over, which is not actually put in there. But underneath, you got all the nice, beautiful, good ginger. But this, you don't really want to put it in there because it's very like tough and chewy. So let's grate the garlic down as well. Right, okay, so we've got the onions, the garlic, the ginger. We're going to cook this down very lightly with a touch of oil, not too much, not going too crazy. So let me grab a little cheeky pan. Now we want about a tablespoon of oil in here. What we're going to do, we're going to start cooking this down very nicely, very steadily, so you don't need to go too crazy. So garlic, onions, straight in, and we're just going to saute them off, soften them up. So beautiful. Right, so the duck is good. So I can pick that quite easily. Look at that beautiful Confit duck. Delicious. So, so good. We can handle this. Oh my goodness me, look at it. It's just falling apart. It's just falling apart. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that beautiful meat. I'm just going to flake that down really nicely. So we got some nice little duck meat in there. You don't need to season this because we seasoned it beforehand. I've already tried it. Oh my goodness me, it's so good. Look at that. Right, so those onions are done. Beautiful. So let's turn that off. And we'll flip that over. Here we go. So, the onions and garlic and ginger ready to go. So I'm going to set that aside. So I'm going to pop them straight into the Confit duck. 3 tablespoons of soy. So this is a light soy sauce. 2, 3. I'm on about 1 tablespoon of oyster. There we go. I think I've got enough left for my sauce as well, so that's fine. And we want 1 tablespoon of plum sauce as well. And we're just going to mix that up. And I want to dice up a little bit of cilantro. Bearing in mind, you can chop up the stalks as well, which has great flavour and texture as well. So I will be putting that much in there. So just a little pinch pretty much, and we're good to go. Bonkers. Right, so cilantro's in. Perfect. So what we're going to do Let's give that a nice little mix up if we need to add a touch of salt. I really feel like it's going to be perfectly seasoned because we already salted the duck before we confit it, and honestly, that duck meat does not need seasoning. Right, so that's all mixed up. Gonna have a little taste of it to see what we got. See if it does need seasoning. I very much doubt it will. That's looking beautiful. Look at that. So that's ready for our duck filling. All that beautiful flavor. Look at it. Fantastic. Beautiful little touch of duck. Doesn't need seasoning. Oh my god, that's great. I'm actually going to peel some of this off. Make some little funky shapes with it. So when we cut it... Oh! You could also get yourself like a... what's it called? Like a little Parisian scoop, and sometimes that has like a little hole on it, and you can make some cool little funky shapes with it. So if you want to, I'll keep this. I'll dice it up as well. I'll put it in the salad. I'm not going to waste it. Do I want to... Yeah, I'm going to take the seeds out as well. Should have cut it in half. That's okay. Let me grab a spoon. Should have cut it in half and scooped it all out in one stroke, but it's okay. No, I'm going to go for more of a chunky style. So rather than be super thin, there we go. Some nice little flavors going on there. Pop these in here. I'm going to add some nice little flavors as well. Do I want a bit more cucumber, I guess? No, I think this is going to be fine. I don't want to make too much because we've got the salad and we've got some carrots going in there as well. So I'll tell you what, we can just chuck this straight in as well. Cucumber. So diced up skin. We've got the diced up cucumber as well. I'm going to have a little bit of sesame seed oil, which I've got here. I want to touch a very small amount of soy. I don't want a lot of soy in there. Rice vinegar I want as well. What else did I want in there? Some sesame seeds. And obviously some of the carrot. I've just literally put the carrot away and I said I wanted to get some out. Gordon Bennett. Bit of red cabbage as well. Let's go for the more thicker side. So we got more of a nice little mix there. So there you go. Already salad's looking funky already. It's got some great flavors in there. So about a little capful. Go easy with the sesame seed oil. It's very strong flavor, okay? So about half a teaspoon this is. It's not a lot. So there we go. We also want a little cheeky pinch of the sesame seeds. Fantastic. So look at that. It's looking fantastic already. Now, you've got an option here. If you want to add the marinade now, depending on when you serve it, if you still want that firm crunch, add it later. If you don't mind it marinating and absorbing those flavors, it will soften up a little bit. It'll still have a nice crunch to it. But just bear this in mind. When you marinate stuff like this for like a salad, I would do the marinade last second if you want that crunch. If you don't want it too crunchy, marinate it now. I'm going to marinate it now because it's going to be absolutely fine. I'm not going to be too long doing this. So teaspoon of soy, but it's the vinegar from the rice vinegar, and we're going to add a touch of lime to this, which will basically break down the vegetables, and also the salt will draw out the moisture. So just bear that in mind if you're doing it. Okay, so about, say, 2 teaspoons. Don't go too crazy. So look at all that beautiful flavor. Gonna get that a nice little mix up very nicely. Quarter of lime juice just in there, looking fantastic. Look at that. So a little bit of garlic. Now go easy on this garlic because I'm not cooking this one out. This garlic I'm only going to use like maybe a quarter of a clove, just to grate it down in there so it's got a subtle garlic flavor. Sometimes raw garlic can be a bit strong in flavor and sometimes can give like a burning sensation as well, which is not very pleasant. So, you know, you kind of want to avoid that. So you want to use as little as possible. Now, if you taste it, you'll be like, I can't taste the garlic. Give it about half an hour as well because it will take time to kind of that flavor to come out. So I know, I get it. Some people really love garlic, but when it's raw garlic, it can be very off-putting. Now, if you cook garlic, it's not too bad, but we're not cooking it. We're just going in raw, so very small amount, as you can see. That's gone straight in. plum sauce. I'm going to go for 2, well, these are dessert spoons. So I'd say a good, I'm going to go, these are pretty much tablespoons I'm putting in here, by the way. Oyster sauce. There's not much left in there, but should be about 2 tablespoons I want, which is kind of there, so we will see. Maybe I'll just get 1. Oh no, we should get 2 out of this. I'll have to buy some more oyster sauce when I need it again. About 2 tablespoons of soy. Ah, that cap is so annoying. Every time it catches my thumb. Right. 1, 2. Ah, my thumb. A little touch of sesame seed. Not too much. I'm talking like 1/4 of a teaspoon, if that. A little touch of rice vinegar in here. About a teaspoon of that. There we go. Right, bit of zest. Oh, Gordon Bennett. So just a little bit. Now, when you're zesting, right, one of the most important things, you only want to scrape it once. If you scrape it twice, you're going to start getting into the pith, or the white stuff, which is very bitter. So when it comes to zesting, you only want to go over it once. So as you can see, I'm making my way around the orange, and it's not going too deep in the white, which is what the bitter stuff is. So beautiful. I love orange. Orange is so good for you. Right, I don't think there is any in there, but just in case, just squeeze that straight in. Well, I don't want it to be too thin, but I also don't want it to be too thick. I feel like this is a really nice consistency we've got here. I know you can't really see it very well in this dark bowl, but it's actually not that bad. It's just a nice, like, kind of coating consistency. Oh my god, beautiful. So you got that garlic, you got the orange juice, the sweetness, the saltiness. Maybe a touch more vinegar in there. That's all I'm going to think of. I'm going to go too sharp and use this for our pancake mix. I say pancake mix, but it's actually crepe mix, technically, but without any eggs. It's just basically flour, water, and salt. 200 grams I want. Kind of want to pour it, really, shouldn't we? Rather than spoon it. Gone. There we go. Pinch of salt. There we go. Little by little. So start off with that. I'm just going to give it a nice little mix. Alrighty. So just pour that straight in. So let's push this through. So catching all those lumps and things, so we've got a nice smooth consistency for when we brush this in the pan. So I don't want to make them too big. I don't want it like super hot, but I want it like hot where it's going to, like, you know. Yeah, maybe this is a little too hot, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just because, like, I want to hold that moisture in there, so I feel like that would be a lot better. So let's try that. Perfect. That's what you're after. So foil's really important. So that was the one with the no foil. So they don't need long in between the foil. Because if you leave them too long, they're going to start sticking. I've got a really funny feeling they will. So, unless I cook both sides. But I feel if you cook both sides, what's going to happen is it's going to dry out too much. And it will start kind of crisping up too far. So, just put that on there. There we go. Just let it steam. That's what you want to do, is let it steam. So, what we want, I'm going to start off with a little touch of carrot, and maybe a little bit of spring onion, not too much, bit of cucumber, and then just a really small amount of cabbage. I'm talking like now we'll see if this filling's a little too much, but I've got a feeling it's going to be okay. So what we want to do is wrap it nice and tight. Don't forget extra egg wash on here as well. There we go. There we go. spring roll. Dead simple. Dead easy. How are we looking now, chef? This is getting nice and hot, so we're almost there. Look at those beautiful stuck spring rolls. Absolutely fantastic. They turned out really, really nice. Nice and golden, crispy, crunchy. Oh, goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Look at that. Look at that, amigos. So, pull this forward. Brad! Cheeky chap. Well, so very, very delicious indeed. So we also had the plum sauce, so plum and oyster sauce, orange zest, orange juice, soy sauce, rice vinegar, a little touch of garlic in there as well, very, very small amount, and I think that's it pretty much. And then obviously the duck spring rolls, we made the wraps from scratch, so flour, water and salt. It's as that simple as that, so we did that. And then we brushed it onto a pan, cooked them out, and then just kept them between two pieces of foil to keep the moisture in. We wrapped up the confit duck that we slowly cooked down, obviously, on Thursday. So it's nice and tender. We pulled that apart. We added oyster sauce, soy sauce to it. A little bit of onions and ginger and garlic to it as well. Cucumber, red cabbage, and carrot in there as well. So, guys and gals, have a great rest of your Monday. I'll catch you tomorrow, 10 AM Mountain Time. For that cheeky falafel. So have a great rest of your day. Much love. Thank you for all the support. Take care. Bye for now.